Welcome to another episode of The Marital Mission. I am your co-host, Shamika McDowell.
I am your other host, Lito McDowell.
And we are The Marital Mission. We're back on the mic.
Summer Series 2019.
Yes, before we officially get season 3 underway next month. But we are back after taking some time. Just got back from vacation.
And a lot of other things.
A lot of other things that we're going to get into in the episode. But we wanted to kick it off since we are back from vacation and it is summer. So Pete, you are either on vacation, you just came back yourselves, you're about to go on vacation, hopefully. Something about getting away that just reinvigorates the relationship.
Yeah, it's an energy boost.
It is. And it's nice to just leave everything behind and hopefully you can turn off your phones at your leisure and kick back and relax, whatever that looks like. If you're an adventurist and you're off hiking somewhere, or I know for us, we love the beach. So
yeah,
where did we come from?
We just came from St. Martin.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful.
Yes, beautiful. They got hit with a hurricane probably a year and a half ago, and still some devastation around the island, but still beautiful. The people were beautiful, amazing customer service, just amazing people and amazing experiences that we've had there.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know I personally needed that.
Yeah.
You know, being bogged down with a lot of life's trials,
mm-hmm.
Marriage issues,
mm-hmm.
and...
Oh, yeah. We, too, have marriage issues.
Oh, yeah, it's real in the physio. So there are a lot of things that went into the vacation being what I needed it to be.
Okay.
I had to be open to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I appreciate the opportunity because I really do feel a lot better now.
Good.
Yes.
That's what I wanted to hear. See, when I say, okay, so we've been budgeting and making sure other things are in place, and I knew that wasn't a high priority for you, but I also knew that you needed this, that we needed this. So I took the liberty. Ladies, sometimes we have to gently steer our men and when we see them needing a break from everything. I gently steered them and said, hey, we're going to take a vacation. Our original plans fell through, so we had to go to plan B pretty fast, literally within a day or two.
Yeah.
So originally was going to be Belize and Honduras, wound up being St. Martin and Anguilla.
Yeah.
But God knew we needed that vacation. He handled everything. We didn't overspend terribly. We
overspent.
I said overspent terribly.
Subjective.
I don't think we did. We actually spent less than we typically do.
That's true.
So,
but more than we budgeted.
More than we budgeted, but we didn't go crazy.
There was a balance. And that's part of what I learned. So I'll get into that later.
Yeah. So we did what we needed to do.
True.
And had an amazing experience. Did some things that neither of us had ever done before. What would we do? We zip-lined.
Yep.
Never again, but I live to tell the tale.
On the tallest zip line in the Caribbean.
Yeah. The descent is not like zip lining across.
Yeah.
It's a descent down. And I wasn't ready for the descent.
Yeah. It was a pretty steep.
It was very steep. I felt my stomach in my throat.
I enjoyed it.
I know you did.
I typically would not have suggested us do that, But I like taking advantage of opportunities. And when I heard that it was the tallest
That's what
zip
did it for
line,
you.
that's what did it for me. I could say that. Like, nobody can take that away from me now.
Yeah, we were supposed to just do a nice little subdued ride up the mountain.
And then take some pictures.
And take pictures. But he was like, no, let's zip line down. And I was like...
It was a compromise, though.
It was that.
Because I really initially didn't really want to do any of it.
Really?
No. Because I was thinking about money.
Yeah, and then you got there and we spent more than I anticipated.
Well, yeah, it was like around that time or around the trip, right? Budgeting, our future, like all of this stuff was on my mind. And I took a book with me for
what's the book called?
For reading. Think and Grow Rich, A Black Choice.
Okay.
And I started this book last year. Didn't finish it, put it down. So I was like, hey, I'll need some reading while I'm on the beach or while I'm on the plane. So I'll take this book, I'll finish it. Prior to that, we had a conversation. Maybe a couple days before we left. I came to you after having a conversation with some brothers who are all personal friends of mine. Collectively, we came together to form a group. And we're just supporting each other to become better men, better husbands, better fathers. And one of the things that we discussed was how to communicate more effectively in our marriage. One of the brothers suggested that we don't allow situations to build up, that we go ahead and we have those conversations with our spouse before your mind could take you to places where it really doesn't need to be, right?
Right.
So I took that to heart, and there was something that was bothering me, and I brought it to you. And I was prepared for a conversation. I was not prepared for what you told me.
I don't remember what I said. Oh, I do remember what I said.
And it really like threw me off my rocker, and I didn't know how I was going to respond. Like, I was appreciative that you told me, but I just was not prepared for that, because it was like almost the complete opposite of the direction that I thought we were going, right? So that was bothering me. And the next day, I had a phone conversation with my brother, and he opened up and shared some things with me that he had never shared with me before. And he was just encouraging me, to just stay the course and make sure that I do what I know is right. I get the book. Now I'm reading the book, and the book is just reinforcing, have faith during tough times. You're going to fail. The only difference between a successful person and a failure is successful person just kept going. They didn't allow the failures to discourage them. It's talking about how we are in control of our own happiness, that we are in control of our own success, and that God gives us everything that we need, that nobody else has more time in the day, right? So it's just all these affirmations that I shouldn't set limits on myself. And so,
which I have been praying about.
Appreciate you.
I have been praying about. I hate to see you box yourself in to not necessarily what others anticipate or expect of you, because I never see you do that. Sometimes I do, and that frustrates me, but I hate to see you limit yourself based off of what you think, what you've read, what you heard, and because I just see so much potential in you. So that's been my prayer for you. So that was a blessing to hear you say that.
And
got over here cheesing, y'all.
There were a lot of tests, right? God was like, okay, I gave you these brothers. You put this together. This is something that you asked for. Gave a word to me. Talked to my brother. And my brother and I have a really good relationship now. It wasn't always that way, but it's getting better, and I appreciate him. He spoke a word to me. I'm reading this book. The book is now telling me things that I'm like, okay. And now, like, we're here. Mm-hmm. We're on vacation. The money is spent, and there's more money to be spent because it's not an all-inclusive vacation. Mm-hmm. And there was a point where I was just told myself, like, don't waste this time worrying about money. You're not going to enjoy yourself. Take this time, make the most memories you can with your wife, and, like, don't go crazy. You know,
don't buy everything within reason.
Don't buy a jet over here. But, and so I was like, okay. And so it was more about creating memories. Mm-hmm. And once I switched off that other part and I was out, I allowed myself to just enjoy you, then it was a wonderful experience. And now, you know, we kept getting tested. Well, I kept getting tested. I don't know if you knew, but me saying, okay, hey, let's go do this. When we did the day trip to Anguilla, we did other things, you know, restaurants, and it was nice. And it helped me to see that, yeah, money is important. Being responsible with your money is important. But one, I know that the money that I got, that we have acquired to this point, I can get more. Mm-hmm. Like, you spend money, you can make more money. And it's no benefit if you acquire all of these things and you have no memories, you have nothing
to look back on.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Exactly. So I was like, okay, this is cool. And now I just need to go and get more. As opposed to, like, kind of looking in the future and just saying there's a cap. This is how much I'm going to make this year. This is how much. Okay, no, I can make however much I set my mind to. And I was like, okay, if it pushes back our goal of being debt free 1 or 2 months, so be it. But this is going to be worth it. And I really felt like we connected in a way that we hadn't in a while. Mm-hmm. And it was, I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Which brings us to kind of the main topic of this episode, for better or for worse. So you want to kind of bridge us into that?
Sure. If you have been married for at least a year.
At least a year?
At least a year.
Okay. Not 6 months?
Not 6 months. I mean, you know, everybody's situation is different. So even if you've been dating for a while, mm-hmm. but the commitment of marriage, and after a year, you know that marriage is different from dating.
Oh, yeah.
And the level of commitment and everything else that goes into it, people around you change, and there are good days and there are bad days.
Mm-hmm. Whether you're married or not.
There are good periods of time. There are bad periods of time. So how do we navigate that where our marriage is not tattered at the end of the bad times, and where we don't set ourselves up during those good times where when something bad does happen, you're looking across at your spouse like it's their fault.
Or it's over.
Mm-hmm. Right? So we have just kind of come out of one of those periods. Mm-hmm. A what we consider worst time. Mm-hmm. And you were dealing with things that really had nothing to do with me. Mm-hmm. And I was processing things that I learned had nothing to do with you. Mm-hmm. And it's important that we realize, and we've talked about this before, about how you're still an individual, even though we're married, but that doesn't make it easy.
Yeah.
Because you still have marriage problems. Like, that connection that you have with your spouse is going to be tested, because if you're dealing with an issue, and if I know about it or not, I may want to spend time with you, but you may need that time alone to process your own things. I'm learning that, like I was saying about the book, I can't hold you responsible for my happiness.
Mm-hmm.
So even when you're dealing with your own issues and I want to be there for you, I have to still be responsible for the things that I need to handle to make me okay.
Mm-hmm.
And that's been a process. We have, just talking about us, we have a really solid friendship, I'd say.
Yeah.
You're my best friend. I'm your best friend. And I have other friends. You have other friends, but I purposefully have changed my relationship with friends and family so that we could be who we need to be for each other. Thankfully, I still have, really good friends, really supportive family, and they respect that. But it's during those times that I don't really want to go to them and feel a void, but I still have to not feel guilty about having fun and enjoying life with other people and not feel like I'm being dismissive of you or I'm not being there for you.
Right.
And that was something that I was burdening myself with. You didn't tell me that.
I was about to say I had no inclination of that.
No, you never did.
Mm-hmm.
But that was just something that I thought like, well, if my wife isn't really good right now, then I can't just be out here like enjoying life, but I really can.
Mm-hmm.
It's in me having substance and wherewithal to continue to go on that I'll be able to provide some type of light for you. But if I allow myself to get bogged down and now I'm frustrated because either one, like I need you to get out of this rut so that we could be good, or two, I'm trying to fix you and that's not my job.
Right.
And so that was very hard for me. Now I think that I have a better grasp of what my role is during those times. And then even the better times when, flip side, when I'm not really feeling my best, but you're in a good spot, how to still be what you need from me and then deal with my own issues individually.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, that led me to ask you about seeking counseling, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that before the end of the year and hopefully by the end of the summer, we start that process. I'm excited about that. And especially just thinking about family planning.
Mm-hmm.
I want to make sure that when we do have a family, that our worst times aren't affecting, well, my worst times, not affecting the whole family. Mm-hmm. That I can compartmentalize those things and I can still handle my business. Because you got to think about it, when we're going through our worst times, when we go to work, we can't wear that on our sleeves. Mm-hmm. So when we come home, we need to be able to manage it as well.
Right.
Right. So
you just said a word right there. Like how we put on a face for work and the outside world. That not necessarily saying that you can't come home and be yourself and let your hair down and all of that stuff. But why are you going to go out and cheese and smile in front of people and not bring your best self home as well? So, yeah, I think counseling will be good for us just as a maintenance thing, because we're good at shaking back during those tough periods that we go through.
Yeah.
But it would be nice to have just a little maintenance, like a massage. I think of it as a massage for the marriage. Everything's good, but sometimes we need to work out some of those tensions and those knots. So it'll be good to have someone objectively give us some tools that would benefit us from day to day.
Yeah. And even at times when they're not good, because everything's not always good, but like you say, we do a good job with recovering. And I thank you for your stick-with-itness. I thank you for your commitment and your faithfulness.
Ditto.
It's very empowering during those tough times to know that you're not the enemy.
Unless you want me to be. We can role play.
So I think that the better, right? The better is so fulfilling when you know that, man, we just were like on each other's nerves.
Now we're on vacation.
Or now we're laying in bed, talking about things, except instead of one person in the other room, one person, out the house, like we're back to that good place. And it makes you appreciate it a lot more.
And people, don't be afraid of the tough times, because like you just said, the other side is so beautiful, and it teaches you that, yes, you can get it on each other's nerves. Yes, you can have arguments. Yes, you can not even speak to each other for maybe a day or two, but to know that, okay, once we get it together and we work through the situation, the blessing and the beauty in all of that is, hey, we could do all of that, and yet we are still here. We're still committed to this marriage. We still love each other. We probably love each other more now that we have a better understanding of one another, where we stand. And I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah. And you hear that in the wisdom of older couples. You think about Ruby Dee and Ozzie Davis. Like,
may they rest in peace.
We know they had difficult times. Will and Jada. My parents. Like, these people that you see, either you know them personally or you just see them and hear their stories. It's like, yeah, it's not really in the moment when they're telling you like, oh yeah, we had those times. That doesn't really make you feel better. It's in the moment, right? Like, that's cool. You ain't never had our problems.
Right.
But when you come through that, you can then share your wisdom with other couples. And this is what I really want to stress. Don't be afraid to let people see you in your not so good moments, in your worst moments. Don't go into a shell. Now, you definitely don't want to be like an open book where you're just trashing your spouse or you're just always complaining.
Right.
But you don't have to put on a face where it's like, okay, everything is good. How are you and the wife? Oh, we're making it. And depending on how much you trust that person, that could be it. We're making it, right? Doesn't have to be like, oh, everything.
Hopefully you're not saying that every time you see that person, though.
Well, yeah.
I hope you're doing more than making it.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, in the moment, you don't have to say, oh, we're great, when you know that you're not great.
Do that with somebody that you know and trust is for your marriage.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, I don't really converse with a whole bunch of people that don't respect our marriage. So I don't really know how people get down out there. So if y'all just randomly talking to people that ain't really for you, I don't know what to tell you. But in me communicating with the people that I communicate with, all I'm saying is you don't have to be out here like everything is okay when it's not, because that is not healthy. It's okay to let people know that you are human. And particularly speaking about married people, because everybody has problems. And if you hadn't had a problem yet, it's coming.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that as a community, we need to give people space to be okay, be not good all the time. And, respectfully, though, give them their space. If they don't ask you for your advice, don't offer it. But it's okay sometimes. And I'm thankful that I have had people in my life and currently have people in my life where I just tell them sometimes like, we going through it, but everything is going to be okay. Like, there is still that positivity that, hey, man, maybe we got into it today, but, I love her. I pray for it. Like, that type of thing. So all I'm saying is I don't want you guys to feel like you have to wear that smile and portray that, your marriage is 100% because that can drain you. And if you guys watch these TV shows.
And nobody believes it anyways.
Yeah, true enough.
I mean.
No, it's some people that do, right? It's a lot of people out here that do.
Really?
Yeah, it's a lot of people that do. Think about it. Think about some of these high profile celebrity couples. You only see what they show you.
Right.
Just like Instagram or Facebook or like social media, like you have couples that post certain pictures and, they portray this image. And hey, we need images like that. Mm-hmm. But that ain't every day.
Yeah.
And people that haven't experienced it, sometimes they may not realize that, and just say they get in a marriage and it's their first year and they're like, oh, well, and I think we talked about the, what do you call it? Hashtag goals, right? Like
relationship goals.
Yeah, my relationship goals, like they don't go through this. Oh yeah, they going through it.
Oh yeah.
So
your relationship goals, your man crush Wednesday is crazy. Whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Women's crush, whatever. They got issues.
Yeah.
You put two people together, there are going to be problems. I don't care who they are.
There will be problems. And sometimes there may not be problems, but a problem will just suddenly appear.
We create our own problems sometimes.
Come on.
I mean, we have an idea of something and that person isn't falling in line what we think it should be, and that's your issue.
That's your issue.
That's your problem right there.
Or you come home and you expect...
Expectations will get you every time.
You expect a certain welcome when you walk in the door because you had a rough day and it doesn't happen. Now, your spouse is your problem, right? And it's just like, it's as simple as that. Right. But the message that we're getting across is that those times will come. Mm-hmm.
And it's okay.
It's okay. Mm-hmm. Take a breath. Take a staycation.
We say it all the time on this podcast. Your spouse is not going to be your favorite person all of the time.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's okay. You married them. Obviously, you love them.
Yep.
But even the people that we love the most, show me the person that you love. If it's your parent, a parent, I guarantee you they get on your nerve.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
They let you down.
I mean, we're all human.
Your dog.
Right.
They gonna do something that you don't want them to do.
Your child.
Yeah, so.
And you love them to death. You don't stop loving them.
Yeah.
You just learn to either do better or you come together and you figure things out and you go on.
Yeah, that goes back to my newfound source of strength, which is you are in control of your life. Mm-hmm. God gives you everything you need. Mm-hmm. There are people that have been through the same situation that you have and worse. It's just, how do you
handle it?
How do you view it? How do you bounce back from it?
Yep.
Right. And there was an example in the book. The guy was saying there's been someone who has been divorced and lost their house. Right. Some people go on to become homeless. Some people go on to become very successful. It's just, how do you respond to failure? Mm-hmm. You're going to fail yourself in your marriage. Mm-hmm. You're going to fail your spouse. You're going to fail your children. You're going to fail the expectations of your parents and your friends. How do you respond to that? Do you respond out of love? Do you respond with a sense of, I can do this, I will do this, we will do this together? Or do you allow seeds of Satan to be planted and, make you create doubt and say, well, you know what they did was so horrible that I cannot forgive them, even though the things that we've done, the Lord has forgiven us for those things. Right. And so we just have to make sure that we are on this journey together and that we are holding our own.
Right. Yeah. I think the self-reflection thing, just think about what you've done today that you aren't most proud of. And that could be something as simple as getting in the car driving and you flip somebody the bird because they're not driving like you think they should be driving.
Yeah.
Same thing. Just, I think it's important to be self-reflective and not blaming and finger pointing all of the time. I know that's what keeps me in check when I feel that you may not be responding in a way that I feel you should. I just take stock of, well, one, Shamika, what have you done to make him know how you need to be loved in that moment? You haven't expressed it. He's not a mind reader. So, and he could have no knowledge, or maybe he's going through his own thing at this moment. So, yeah, I think we have to kind of turn inward a lot of times when we feel that person isn't doing this, that, and third. Well, what are you doing? How are you behaving? Are you able to be loved in that moment? Not loved, but whatever you need in that moment, are they able to give it to you?
Definitely. That's big. I always tell my students, or whatever kids that I'm working with at the time, no one can make you mad. You have to give them that power. And I say these things, and then I start to reflect on. Then you
come home, and I come in and challenge all of it. Challenge.
Right? And so I'm very aware now that I have to practice what I preach, and I have to think about what is it in me? What have I experienced? What have I not dealt with that's allowing whatever we're going through to take me to a place that I don't want to be at? And those are the moments that I can then come over or get over whatever it is that is keeping me from being who I need to be in the marriage. And the process is slowly getting, I won't even say slowly, pretty quickly, I'm taking back control during those moments where I would get upset. Can I tell the story?
What story?
About the airport?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
My natural hair women, you're going to feel me on this?
There are two stories, actually. There's a coming and a going.
There's a going?
There's a going. Okay, so first story.
You might not want to tell the going. I don't know about it.
You know about it.
Do I? What's the key word?
Later flight.
You got mad at me for that?
I didn't, because I had read the book, talked to my brother. That
wasn't on me, though.
My old self would have gotten mad.
That wasn't on me.
Okay, so going.
You mean coming? Are you telling the coming?
Okay, so
I guess going would be
to
St. Martin.
St. Martin.
Okay.
So we packed. You did majority of the packing. Thank you. You were on it for like 4 days before.
7, probably more than that.
Probably more than that. suitcase was laying out on the floor for a minute.
Yeah.
Because you had packed for the other trip.
Yeah.
Then, so you handled your business on that. You suggested that I pack at least 2 days before.
I don't know why I did, because that never happens.
I packed the day before.
Okay.
Right? And in my mind, because I got to think about, like, money's still in my mind. So I'm thinking, I'm not trying to pay any extra money if we don't have to. So I asked you about the specifications of the weight limit. Mm-hmm. You told me. Mm-hmm. Packed the stuff. Had our personal bags filled to what we thought was the brim. And put the suitcase on scale. Now, this is the morning of.
Yeah, going to.
Put it on the scale. It was maybe 3.5, 4 pounds over what you told me the limit was. Mm-hmm. Your response was, it's okay. They're going to allow it on the plane. Mm-hmm. I left it at that. Okay.
Which they would have, but we would have had to pay more.
And that's the part that I was like, I know she understands this because she's a brilliant woman. So I'm not even going, So we get to the airport. And so it was going to be $60 both ways, or was it going to be $30 both ways?
It was going to be
$30 both ways. I mean, $30 going and $30 coming.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we get there, you guys, they have the weigh your own bags before you go check in the bag. So I put it on there. Sure enough, about 3.5, 4 pounds over. Mm-hmm. In my mind, I'm thinking, we've already overpaid. We went over budget.
Mm-hmm. We didn't at that time. We didn't. Maybe by a couple of hundred. We were still within the range.
Okay. So I don't want to pay this extra $60. So, because I know typically it's a little bit more coming back because we usually buy
knickknacks and stuff.
Right? So I then take it upon myself, like, okay, maybe I can switch some of the heavier items, put them in my personal backpack, put some of these lighter items that I have in my backpack in the suitcase, try to balance this thing out. I did a pretty good job, I must say. I was pretty proud of myself.
You did a good job up until...
I had some cologne that was like a corner left.
A smidge left. I don't know. You could have splashed that on and it would have done it.
Right. And so I was like, okay, well, bye-bye to you because you taking up, And then we had a bottle of Shea Moisture shampoo.
Nope, not Shea Moisture. Camille Rose. It makes a difference.
No, this was Shea Moisture.
Of shampoo?
Yeah.
No.
The little short?
Camille Rose.
It's
the
not
pink?
Yeah, it's not the one you just bought in there?
No, that's Camille Rose.
That's Camille Rose?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Because it costs way more than Shea Moisture.
Right, got you. So, Camille Rose. Mm-hmm. It was a fairly new bottle.
It was very new, actually. I bought it the week before.
Yeah. And that was the determining factor because I could not take it onto the plane because it was over the 4.3 ounces. Mm-hmm. And if I put it back in the suitcase, then it would have been over the weight limit. Mm-hmm. So I was like, hey, we could throw this in the trash because that's $60.
Oh, boy. But the bottle was darn near 20.
Hey, I'm a math teacher, so.
I mean, I get it. It just hurt to see all of that goodness go into the trash like that
and
when you had no business bringing it in the first place. Remember, because I brought shampoo.
Yeah, I didn't understand that. You packed your toiletries, I packed mine. I didn't get you were saying that I shouldn't have packed shampoo anyways. So let me just tell y'all, her whole demeanor, we going on vacation, y'all. Her demeanor changed. A little horn started coming up. She started having like little...
You had no business bringing that shampoo is all I'm saying. I got us when it comes to the toiletries. You know I got it. I'm going to bring shampoo because my hair.
When we got there, you asked me, did I grab your toothbrush? So what are you talking about?
Touche. But I'm going to make sure this hair is taken care of. You can get a toothbrush when you get there. You can't get the good shampoo when you get there.
I got you. But, sometimes we have 2-3 bottles of shampoo in there. You use certain shampoo. I use certain shampoo. I didn't think about it. I mean, I wasn't thinking that this shampoo is going to put us over the weight limit. That wasn't my thought process. So.
To bring a full. I'm
now
out right now.
I can see where you're coming from because I could have put some in like a little bottle.
Yeah.
Had I done what you asked me to do earlier, which was
thank you. I appreciate that.
Right? So I get that. I understand it now.
I appreciate that.
But you went like and you were upset with me. And I was like,
No. Don't act like I'm just sitting here going nuts in the airport.
Oh, no. You didn't go nuts. You went marital nuts on me where I was the only person who knew about it. And your mood just changed. So it was shocking to me because I'm like, hey, I just saved us $40. And I guess in your mind, you were like, well, you just cost us $20. And so I had to then say, you know what? I'm going on vacation. I choose to not even be the bigger person, but I just choose to be in control of my own spirit, my own positivity, and we're going to rock this thing out.
I let it go quickly, too.
You did. Thankfully, the lady behind
the desk. Yeah, she was funny. Yeah. She was popping jokes. So,
and we were able to kind of divert. Yeah. Coming back now, so I had been planning to go on a vacation for the last 2 years. Didn't go last year. There was, personal decision. Not going to go. I'm definitely going 2019, right? And part of the budgeting was so that I could go on this vacation. So when we went over budget on the trip, I'm like, in my mind, that's one reason I was like, you know what? I don't really want to spend so much over budget because I still really want to go on this other vacation. Well, once I just allowed myself to enjoy, I was just like, you know what? If sacrificing that vacation to make sure that this vacation, because you weren't going to go with me on the other vacation. Really wasn't a vacation, but a trip. I wanted to go to this festival. Mm-hmm. And I was like, you know what? I need to enjoy now because, tomorrow's not promised. So let's do that. Enjoyed that. Everything is okay. We're headed back. We have to, missed our connecting flight. That's another story. Mm-hmm. And I watched you as you slept.
You're sweet.
Stayed up 24 hours. I drank a nasty soft drink. Mm-hmm. Don't typically drink sodas, but I had to try to stay up. So, let you rest. We weren't able to go through security checkpoint because we had to check a bag. Mm-hmm. So, granted, I'm up. So once we went through security checkpoint, you were sweet. Like, hey, now we're through here. Our flight doesn't come in for another 3-4 hours. Go ahead and get you some rest. So I go to sleep, wake up, and you tell me that they're offering $500 a person and a food voucher if we didn't take our 7 o'clock flight, but we opted to take another flight where we would have maybe 2 connecting flights and we would get back in Dallas at around 3 o'clock. Mm-hmm. In my mind, I'm just waking up, but I'm like, I know you accepted that. And you were like, well, I want to ask you. And I'm like, get your butt up there and go say yes.
You didn't say that, actually. I said, I will go check.
I didn't say it. That's what was going on in my mind. Mm-hmm. I know if I had said that to you, probably wouldn't have went over well. So I gave you the head nod. Yeah, I would like that, right? You go up, handle your business like you do. Mm-hmm. And I want to say you were like, I'll call you up if I need you. Mm-hmm. So I'm looking, I kept looking, and by this time the airport's pretty full, at least our gate section, and I saw your hand wave. So I'm going up, I'm kind of crump because I'm like, hey, this gonna pay for my trip to the festival. And when I get up there, the deal has not been sealed yet. There are other people in line. There are other people, I guess, who had offered.
Well, people were coming up as I'm waiting for acknowledgement.
Correct. And they had started boarding as well.
Right.
So I hear you. So the lady was, the lady behind the counter, she said, have you accepted? Because you were just kind of standing there waiting. She was on the phone doing a whole bunch of things. She said, have you accepted yet? You said, I'm trying to see if there's a food voucher included. In my mind, I'm like, no, we don't need food voucher.
Well, you should have said that.
No. At that point, you know, you were handling it, and I wasn't tripping. Like I'm telling you, I'm not tripping at this point. I'm just like, nah, we might, you know, let's just get it, and then we can find out about the food voucher. So, anyways, she pretty much ignored what you said. She goes back on the phone. She's doing her thing. And about 2 minutes later, she's like, you know what? We don't need any more people.
Which is true because people were getting snatched off out of the line to board the plane.
It was a lot going on.
Yeah.
It was a lot going on. And I'm not...
And even the dude that did accept, he got his butt on the plane because they were like, we don't need no more people. So we wouldn't have made it anyways.
I'm not blaming you. I'm telling you what my head was. My head was $500 a piece. In my mind, you leave me sleeping, exposed to the world. You run up to the desk. Yes, do we need to give blood too? Get the $500 a piece. Come back. I may be there or not. I can handle myself once I wake up. And then you're like, hey, baby, we have 2 $500 vouchers for later. That's just in my mind.
You weren't thinking rationally because you were sleep deprived.
I was. So, but you know what? All of that learning that I had received, all of that wisdom came back to me. And I was like, you know what? Opportunities come, opportunities go. This won't be the first. This won't be the last. This isn't your wife's fault. It's nobody's fault. Enjoy. You just had the vacation of the year. Probably number 2 of all vacations that we've had together. Hey, man, go home. Enjoy your life. Enjoy your wife. Shook it off. Sat on that plane right beside you
that day.
Hey, and everything is okay.
The Lord was with you that day. I was ready for you. I felt it, and I was ready.
Everything is okay. You looking at a new man right here.
Am I?
You don't see it?
Turn around, turn the other cheek.
Yeah, so I just want you guys to know that.
But I know what to do next time, just as taking it and let the fallout later.
You know.
But I also know that it was a long freaking day and night. And part of me was like, hey, let's get home.
That's a G though. I got you. That's a G though. That just, you know what I'm saying, for me. I just want you to know what my mind is next time. And I know for you, if I'm ever in that position.
But I was trying to clarify because it wasn't presented as 500 person at first. And then that's why I was like, what's all included? Because I don't want us to get it and it's a okie doke.
Yeah, I got you. No, and then, you know.
It was a fair question.
Hey, I have all the confidence in the world of you handling business. You know that.
Okay.
And
I'm just saying, don't doubt the Mac skills is all I'm saying.
I'm not doubting it. And I know not to just take the money if I'm ever in a position and then I have to consult with you. Hey, babe, do you feel like, staying later? I know it's been a long vacation.
Right.
I know that.
Because we had to go to work the next day and I was already pissed. Did we?
Oh, yes, we did.
Yes, we did.
Yes, we did.
Because I purposely chose Saturday so we have a day to rest.
Correct.
And that didn't happen.
That's correct.
So
there you go, guys.
Hey.
You see,
all that honking.
So there you go, guys. We see that we too have moments of growth in our marriage. Mm-hmm. We have moments of frustration, of worry. Mm-hmm. But the beauty is when you recite those vows for better or worse, and you know that the other person means it, that is so powerful.
Yeah.
One thing that I did not like in the dating phase, and we talked about my lack of serious dating, but I hated the uncertainty of that other person being there.
What does that mean?
When life happens, can I count on you to be there? Mm-hmm. Like, I know my family got me. I know my friends got me because they've shown me. But for a person that, romance is one thing. Mm-hmm. Romance is a part of a relationship, or at least it should be. In dating, we focus so much on the romance side, right? That tenacity, that grit, that loyalty. Those are things that aren't as prominent in that. When I married you, I made a promise to you. Hey, I messed up. I'm going to prove to you daily that you didn't make the wrong decision by forgiving me. Mm-hmm. I take that seriously. Mm-hmm. Being able to look across the bed, the room, the table, wherever we are, and to know that you have that same level of commitment to this relationship, it means the world to me.
Mm-hmm. For better or for worse.
For better or for worse.
I've always said, when I get married, it's forever. So I'm in this thing.
There we go. Ain't you happy that you ain't got a man that beats you?
I would never have a man that beats me, first of all.
There you go. I just grab your booty every now and then.
I would never have a man that put his hands on me.
Yeah, and I mean, this is definitely not a joking situation, but right. I'm thankful for our marriage. Our struggles and our trials are ours. Mm-hmm. I don't expect for other people to understand because there's so many intricacies that go along with it. Mm-hmm. We definitely aren't perfect.
Nope.
Hopefully you guys get that.
Don't portray myself to be.
No, definitely not. But we are committed.
Yes.
And
yes, if you get nothing else out of this podcast, even if you're like, ooh, they must be going through something, they haven't put anything out. Maybe, yeah. But one thing you won't ever see is we getting a divorce.
Yeah, true that.
Yeah.
True that. Oh, don't wink at me like that. I don't care if you like me. I love me.
And that's the bottom line of it.
All right, guys. So we appreciate you. Mm-hmm. Look forward to season 3 coming soon.
Yes.
And don't forget to hashtag the marital mission on those summer vacay pics.
Yes. We have a post on Instagram and on Facebook and on our website. If you go there, you can leave a comment saying where you've been, where you're going. We love to get ideas. We already have our list going. We know where we're going next year.
Yeah.
We know where we're going the year after that.
Yeah.
Well, we have, 2 or 3 in the running?
Yeah, we have 2 or 3 in the running.
Yeah. So we love for new ideas. We love to get your suggestions. And likewise, we'll give ours if you care to hear them. Mm-hmm. And yeah, we're glad to be back. And thanks for listening.
There's some news. You want to give them the good news?
What news?
We are now on.
Not only can you listen to us on iTunes,
Tell it.
Google Play,
what?
TuneIn Radio. Mm-hmm. There are a few others, Stitcher Radio. Mm-hmm. You can listen to us on iHeartRadio.
There you go.
Yay! We made it. Mama, we made it. Yes, we are on iHeartRadio. So if you are a fan of that listening platform, you can type in The Marital Mission and we will pop up with our pretty faces.
Thank you all for your support.
Yes.
If nobody was listening, I'm sure it would not have come to be.
Yeah.
But you guys support, even in our absence, you guys show love and we appreciate you.
Yes. And even we just have a handful of podcasts compared to, or episodes compared to other podcasts. But the fact that they said, hey, let's put it on the platform, we couldn't have asked for more. So
yeah,
thanks for listening. We thank you for those who have written in to show love, that you've been blessed by the podcast. We love you back.
We definitely do. And we are learning not to compare ourselves with other podcasts.
Yeah. One thing about this podcast, we want it to be beneficial, and we are looking for quality, not quantity. So, yeah, we want to make sure that we are bringing things that will help you in our own experiences and our conversations, and what we bring to you is of value.
Yeah.
Does that wrap it up?
That wraps it up.
Okay. Let's pray this thing out as always.
Lord, thank you for better times. Thank you for keeping us in worse times. We thank you for setting the perfect example for us. We pray that marriages are healed right now. We pray that marriages are renewed, that vacations are had, and that we can continue to uplift you through our marriages. We pray these other blessings in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. See you next episode.